Doc and Nemo Hot Seat, where we keep it real. You will be amazed. Today we are talking about porn. You heard me right? Porn. Now, Doc, I think porn is cool. Because, you can learn from it. Yeah, I mean, because you learn. Like, for some of us with not too much experience, I don't see what is wrong with porn.
Well, if I had all the time, I would give you 10 reasons. Let me give you 2. Porn is real bad. It's a deal breaker. Let me just share 2 reasons. 1, human sex is not like animals mating. Human sex is part of a major construct, love. Love is not just sex, but sex is part of it. Intimacy is part of love.
You said love is not sex.
Yeah, but sex is part of love.
Okay, sex is part of love.
Okay, I'm talking of intimate love, intimate relationships.
Okay.
And so sex is not love. It's part of an intimacy, an intimate relationship. So porn reduces the whole thing to sex. And people imagine these guys literally are in love. They are making love. So you hear people saying these guys are making love. They are not making love. There's no love there. They are not commitments. Love comes with commitments. We are committed to each other.
Right.
There's no loving without giving. I mean, I invest in you, you invest in me. Love seeks what I can get out of you. Love seeks what I can give you. How can I invest in you? How can I make your life better? I don't see you as a sex toy. I see you as a human being to invest in. You have goals, ambitions, and dreams and aspirations. How do I bring them out? So you find in porn, number 2, the second mistake in porn, you find somebody sleeping with so many other people. So they are not values. So you find a guy can sleep with anyone because they're in a production, they're in a movie.
Right.
So in love, sexual intimacy must be premised on values, where emotions are protected. And this can only be protected within the confines of marriage. Let me give you one more, 3. And perhaps a very critical one. Porn is acting. Let me say it this way. So sometimes you find 1 hour of porn, 2-3 days to produce it and to edit it. So you may find a guy who looks strong and energetic for a whole 1 hour, but in real life the same guy cannot even perform for 15 minutes. So you find he's so strong, and then a woman watches that guy and takes the husband to task based on an act, not reality.
Yeah.
And the vice versa. A man sees such a woman. Can I tell you, I receive emails from people. Marriages are broken because of porn. A guy watches such a thing and thinks, why is my wife lazy? Why can't she deliver like this? And then he sees an ideal body of a model woman and thinks, but my wife has some fat in the belly fat. I think I need to look for that one. And they go looking for that girl in brothels, house of prostitutes. So porn crushes marriages because you're trying to do real life based on acting. People who took time editing and they never allow you to peek behind the curtains. They bring the best performance. In production, sometimes you redo the episode over and over again until you achieve what you want the public to believe about you. And they can mark these things, edit them, and it looks like he was really on the act for an hour non-stop. And the guy did like 20 episodes edited.
That is a lot, but I hear you. And you also bring a good point that, about the love and the sex, just an act. But what if, what's wrong with clean? Like clean porn, where you are watching, you are a couple, you're watching this, this act, and just give us ideas on just to rejuvenate this relationship. It's not like a man with another man or woman, it's just clean, just... What's wrong with that?
There's no clean porn.
And it kind of revives, brings some ideas of what you could do.
Yeah.
No?
2 things. 1, there's no clean porn. There's no clean porn.
There's no clean
porn. Porn stars are dirty, period. They can sleep with anyone, anytime. They even exchange. They will be in a certain room doing production and say, you're not doing the act well with this guy. I think you can do with this guy. The same guy will be in group sex. The same guy will be in same sex. I mean, there is no clean porn. That's just a fact. So, and number two, as a man, men, we are visual. We go by what I see.
Yes, what you see.
So you bring a woman and a man there, even if it's just a man and a woman doing sex, I immediately get aroused. I immediately desire to sleep with that woman. That's natural.
Not this one who is here.
Not just the one who is with me. I may be even more provoked by the person I'm seeing there and wishing I had her and I was sleeping with her. Yeah, and even though women want to deny it, they are also influenced by that because the guy who is acting may be six-pack. The guy at home is in real life. Not everybody at home is real life.
Yeah,
okay?
That's true.
So we end up with a situation whereby we are comparing acting with real life. And what values are we learning from people who have no values in the first place? Why wouldn't they illustrate and demonstrate how this really works for marriage through their own marriages? Nemo, I give you some homework. Go study porn stars and show me how many are happily married with a good marriage. Why can't this work for their own marriages first? And you know what? You can't take others where you have never been. The most effective way of mentoring others and bringing out the best from others is bringing out the best out of your own life. You can't be a travel agent pointing to places you have never been. You need to be a tour guide, take the journey, then make the invitation. Tell us, hey boys, I've gone to that place before, it's cool, it's nice, I need to invite you. I repeat, the most effective way of mentoring others, training others, is bringing out the best out of your own life. You can only effectively teach what you consistently model. These guys epitomize everything against marriage. Many of them, you hear they're in their fourth marriage, fifth marriage. They have zero morals. It will never work for them. Porn will never work for marriage. Quit.
Quit it.
Quit it.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
That's, it's interesting because, I can see sense in saying that, hey, you just look and you see this style and that style. But the thing is, this is real. There's so many people who are addicted, right?
Yeah.
Because we look at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
So what would you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, a person in that position.
Yeah.
They started off like that, I thinking that way.
Yeah.
But what would you tell the addicts? Because it's happening quite a lot.
I agree with you, and it's such a strong addiction. It's such a strong bondage.
Yeah.
You get out of an addiction in the same way you got into it. For example, let's pick anything like smoking, alcoholism. How do people get in there? The first step is accessibility. It was near reach. I've interviewed many guys, and they always confess. The first time I tasted alcohol is because it was near. It was available. It was at home. So you realize accessibility too. Often than not, there's some pressure from somewhere. Could be peer pressure, another person, but somebody introduced you into smoking, into drinking. They made you feel it's cool and safe, so long as you don't overdo it.
Right.
And then finally you are hooked.
Yeah.
So the same thing with porn. Accessibility. So what do? You've got to make it inaccessible.
Right.
Sometimes it will require you to talk to ICT gurus to put like a password or some gatekeepers that will make sure you are not able to access porn from your phone, from your tablet, from your iPad, from your laptop, and that's possible. I can tell you. I know people who do that. There are people who will literally ensure you can't bypass a certain password to those kind of sites.
Right.
And you can get them if you have a will. Two, most people who are watching porn are very embarrassed about themselves. It leads to low self-esteem.
Right.
Because you feel your body does not compare with the body of the porn stars. So they hide when they're doing it. They don't do it in the open. So what do? Start working in an open office space. Stop working from your bedroom. Start working in, quote unquote, a public arena. Like, for example, if you are used to be in the bedroom alone, locked, now be more deliberate, being in the sitting room, being in the company of others, because it's people sometimes who are so lonely who retreat to porn, but they are not conscious. Loneliness kills.
It does.
Isolation limits creativity, it limits imagination, The enemy works by isolating us from the rest and then eliminating us. So long as we are together, there's no problem too large to solve. And number 3, share with someone. Be accountable to someone else. So 3 things. Eliminate accessibility.
Okay.
Number 2, work in a public place. Stop going to lonely dungeons. And number 3, share with someone else. Let someone else know what you're going through. There is no problem that is unique. Sometimes we feel too embarrassed and ashamed, not realizing how big this problem is around the world.
Yeah.
And the more embarrassing the situation, the higher the walls we build. Tear down those walls, share with someone, let someone go beyond the mask you're wearing. You can wear a mask that you're feeling good, and the next moment you commit suicide. Many people who commit suicide, by the way, are porn addicts. There are many other reasons that lead to suicide, but they try to get consolation through porn, through many other things. Tear those walls and let someone know what you're going through. You are never meant to solve all your problems all by yourself.
Porn is not the answer. That's what
Porn
you're
is
saying.
not the answer.
Wow.
No.
Isn't that amazing? You know, we are digging holes for ourselves, trying to fix things that we cannot fix. We have so much more to learn. So please join us next week. Same channel, same time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Doc, so much.